The man tricked his daughter into going hunting, but as she was intently watching the surroundings, he quietly turned the gun toward her, suspecting that she might not be human. After all, strange things had been happening. Just the other day, he saw his wife place their son in his crib, but within minutes, the baby had vanished. Panicked, he asked his daughter where her brother was. Initially, she claimed not to know, but her eyes drifted over to the sofa. Sure enough, they found the baby under it, a sofa so heavy that not even she could lift it. How had he gotten there? Unable to explain it, the mother called her husband to lift the sofa and retrieve their son. Both turned to look at the girl, though they had no proof. She wore an innocent expression, as if the incident had nothing to do with her. Days later, it happened again. The mother had just stepped away for a moment while bathing the baby, only to turn back and find the tub empty. Terrified, the father burst into his daughter's room, demanding to know where her brother was, but her response was the same. She didn't know. He searched everywhere but came up empty-handed. Just as he was giving up, the girl's gaze wandered to the window and then, without a word, she headed toward the lake. Alarmed, the father followed her, heart sinking as she pointed to a spot on the frozen surface of the lake. There, trapped beneath the ice, was the small, frozen figure of his son. He pounded on the ice in desperation, but it was too late. For her part, the girl had no malicious intent. She'd only dreamed of fish in the lake and had thought it might be nice for her brother to join them. But that innocent thought had brought unspeakable pain to her family. Her mother had even jumped from a bridge while searching for her son, breaking her leg in the process. The father realized that his daughter might have strange powers and decided to take her hunting, using it as a pretense to eliminate the threat she posed. As they moved through the forest, he raised his rifle to target a deer. While she watched the animal, he subtly adjusted his aim toward her, finger hovering over the trigger. But at the last moment, he hesitated, unable to go through with it. Years passed, and the girl eventually went to college, unaware of her abilities, though strange incidents continued to follow her. One day, while studying in the library, a flock of crows crashed into the windows, startling everyone. Her hands began to tremble uncontrollably, and in an attempt to hide it, she clutched them together, only to make it worse. Collapsing to the ground, she was rushed to the hospital, but doctors found nothing wrong, dismissing it as stress. She brushed it off but soon found herself plagued by more frequent strange occurrences. She met a girl named Anya, and when she saw photos of Anya online, unsettling thoughts crept into her mind. Around her, lights began to flicker, but she ignored it and accepted Anya's invitation to meet her friends at a bar. Having lived under her father's strict rules, fearing she'd harm others with her abilities, it was her first time in such a setting. Later that night, she saw a social media post from Anya, which brought back vivid memories of the evening. With a fleeting thought, she unintentionally influenced Anya's actions. Across campus, Anya, asleep, suddenly opened her eyes and stood in a trance, making her way outside. From her window, the girl saw Anya standing eerily still, and as she went to investigate, the lights flickered, a gust of wind swept through, and her own body began to shake uncontrollably. Like before, she eventually regained control, dismissing it as another strange episode. The following day, as the two slept in the dorm, the girl felt she'd finally made a true friend, but Anya soon revealed darker intentions. They planned to see a theater performance together, but during the show, Anya's hand crept onto her thigh, pushing boundaries further than she'd ever experienced. Nervous, the girl's hands trembled, her mind swirling with discomfort, and suddenly the theater's chandelier began to sway, a massive fixture hanging over hundreds of audience members. The more she trembled, the more violently the chandelier swung.